All right, so what do I mean by unboxing potential? On this episode, we're going to be talking about one of my signature talks and one of my signature processes that I love to walk people through, which is unboxing potential, and really the keys to your confidence, your resilience, and your unstoppable growth, and how when you get outside of the box that you've put yourself in, you can do anything. Let's dive into this episode all around unboxing potential and what I mean by this. So one of the reasons I was inspired to record this episode, and we've talked about this before when I talked about the chapter in the book that I was featured in, the book Peak Performance and Mindset Tools for Leaders, and I wrote a chapter called Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, which is what my signature talk had been called for years. It kind of had different iterations, and it was really all around how when you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at really change. And go back and check out those episodes where I talked through and actually read different excerpts from the book. Today, though, I want to talk about what inspired me to change the title of the talk and this whole, let's call it like this phenomenon that I want to start sharing with more and more people and really start to become known for this unboxing potential and where it really came to me. So when I knew that I wanted to change the talk of my title and of my talk, it's been Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. I did Activate Your Success Mindset. It kind of has evolved, but I knew that I wanted something that was sort of my own, that I hadn't heard, that was unique, and that kind of added this unique twist on it to really get to the root of what I was trying to help people with. I sorely believed in the process that I walk people through and the steps that I went through and that I help other people with. But I was like, I want this thing that really I can start to say that I help people to do. And for me, when I'm trying to get those creative thoughts, I like to take walks. I like to get out in nature. I like to get away from sometimes and I help my clients with this, when they're trying to solve a problem, they're trying to think of something creatively, and we're just sitting at our desk trying to solve it. Sometimes that's all we can see is, the piece of paper or their computer screen. And if we can actually release that and get out and go take a walk, go do something active, or go do something that just you have fun with, then I actually find that that's where I get the best ideas. So I had actually, when this was all happening, I had a trip out to Arizona for a conference I was going to, and I've talked about this before. I absolutely love Sedona. So whenever I get to Arizona, I try and take some time to actually hit up Sedona and do some solo hiking. And there's my favorite hike where it's actually the easiest hike, but you go to the top of this, I'm going to call it a big rock, essentially. You do this hike up and you go up there and you get this 360 view of Sedona. And I absolutely love it. For anyone who's into the energy woo-woo side of Sedona, they say it's one of the strongest energy vortexes. So do with that what you like. But and so I love to just sit up there, and I actually went up there with the intention to meditate on, to think about what is this thing that I'm trying to get to. And I remember closing my eyes and I sat there for a while, and the word unlocking was coming up for me. And also sometimes I feel like that word can be overused and it wasn't really getting at it. And then all of a sudden, I feel like it fell into my head, the word unboxing. Because if you're in the product-based business, you do an unboxing where you actually take the products out, you examine it, you look at it, you decide what you're going to keep. And for me, one of the things I've always talked about is this whole idea of getting out of the box that we've put ourselves in. So this unboxing came to me. It's what if we took this same idea of unboxing in the product-based business where you get these products and you unbox them and you look at them, and what if we applied that to our own thoughts and beliefs and perspectives about ourselves and other people? And so the unboxing potential was sort of born at that stage. And now my biggest mission is to help get that out to more people, and what that means. I actually have one of those keynotes coming up. We did with the new title and kind of rebranded it last year, and we've got one coming up this year that really inspired me to want to talk about this on the podcast, and what I mean when you really own this idea of getting out of the box. And so for me, I always share, I had put myself in a box of things I was good or not good at, and then I made decisions in my life and my career and people that I hung out with and things that I liked or didn't like based on this box that I had put myself in of what people said I was good or not good at, based on what I had been recognized or not recognized before, based on my own limitations of what I thought I was capable of. And so when we do that, we start making decisions through the lens of what feels safe, of staying in that box, staying within the confines of how we see ourselves. And that can create so much limitations in you, in your personal and your professional growth and development, because you're not able to see outside of that box. And what if you were put into this box of things that really aren't true for you? They were based on what other people said. They were based on what other people put onto you. They were based on your own inner critic telling you that you couldn't, that you shouldn't, that you can't. You are missing out on so many opportunities, on so much potential, on so many amazing things that is outside of that box. And I saw that in my own life, little things all the way up to big things, until I really shifted my own mindset. I got really clear on what it was that I wanted. I got really clear on what was blocking me and getting in the way of me doing that. And then I set the action steps to actually achieve that. And when we can open up our mindset and you can really start to see what else is possible, what else can I learn from this, how else could I think about myself in this situation, you open up that box to be able to go for it, to pursue, to want to learn about, to be interested in, to want to connect with, to want to do something different than you've ever done before. And I just get so excited when we think about if you have an area of your, either personally or professionally, maybe it's you want to start trying a hobby or a habit that you've never done before, and people are like, well, you can't do that, you've never done that. That would be putting yourself in the box and closing the lid. And you get the choice to say, I've never done it, and also I can figure it out, and also I want to try it. Okay, maybe I've never been known for doing karate, but I can change that. I can do karate for a while, and then I can be a person that does karate, right? Or maybe for you, it's a professional goal, and you're looking for growth within your business, and you want to pursue a new avenue that you've never done before. And if you don't think it's possible for you, you're not even going to try it. Or if you're a professional in an organization and you want to try new opportunities, and an opportunity comes up in a department that you've never worked in before, and you say, well, that's just not me. I'm just not a finance person, or I'm just not good at that. It's one thing to know your strengths and what you're interested in. It's another to put yourself in a box and say you can't do it because someone else told you couldn't, or because you're not exploring what it could look like if you became that person. We don't go from in it to out of it. We don't go from here to there. We become it. We grow into it. And if it's something that you're interested in pursuing, you get the opportunity to own that, to try something different, to raise your hand for that opportunity. Maybe you have not seen yourself in a leadership role because people told you, you're too talkative, you can't stay focused, you're too social, and you're not going to be able to make decisions. Well, then you're not even going to try for those things. You're not even going to see it as a possibility. What if instead we let those things go and we started to own a new identity of somebody who's evolving, who's learning, who's growing, who could be those things if they want, but maybe they don't want that. So I really want you to challenge yourself to start to think about, what is the box that you have put yourself into? What are the things that you have been told you are good or not good at? What has society told you? What have family and friends told you? What have past positions and careers told you? What have you told yourself? And how true are those for you really? How true are those for you really? And how much do you want to own that as part of your identity? Maybe you're like, yeah, I've always been told I'm not a good singer. Right here, I know I'm not a good singer. I don't really have a desire to become a better singer. I'll just own that one and okay, right? But maybe there is something else that you want to do, you want to try, and you're scared to do it because you don't think you can, because somebody else failed at it, so you don't think it's possible for you, or somebody else who is very different than you is excelling in that, and you go, well, that's not what I'm like, so I'm not going to be able to do that. That's putting yourself in the box. And that gets really heavy to carry around, because if any opportunity or anything comes your way that's outside of that, you're going to feel so constricted and torn. I'm going to challenge you to write those things down. Where are you putting yourself in a box? And what if you tried on a different perspective? What if you took those things out and you examined if they're really true for you and who you are now and where you want to go? And what is the truth? What else do you want to say, to write, to think about, to refute those things so that you can get out of that box that you've put yourself in, so that you can start to see yourself as this different version of you who can own this new identity, who can go for that job opportunity, who can raise that conversation, who can have that tough moment with somebody, who can go and try something that you've never tried before. Who is that person? That's my challenge for you, is to think about, what have you limited yourself by, and what else could be possible if you got out of that and started to own a new version of you.